Okay, so the culture of English people is quite extraordinary, but today we're going to focus on our particular aspect, which is going to be their sports. The sports that the people of England play are quite different from the ones that we play. They feel very strongly about their sports culture and they take sports very seriously. I'm quite fond of sports myself and I often research them every day usually. First, I will introduce a few British sports, such as soccer and cricket. Next, I will talk a bit about their history and where the sports derive from. Finally, I will explain why the British people feel so strongly about the sports that they do play. England's a fantastic country with its beautiful architecture and all its beautiful people. Let's find out about its most wonderful aspect, is their sports. According to an article titled Sports Played in Britain, two of England's most popular sports are cricket and soccer. Most think that soccer is the national sport, but cricket is actually the national sport. Cricket is the country's most popular sport next to soccer, although many people that soccer is the most popular. Soccer, although it's not the country's national sport, it's often taken place in recreational leagues and school leagues, stuff like that. As you can see, cricket and soccer are very popular in English culture. Now let's talk a little bit about where they came from. Cricket and soccer were not just found out of thin air. They went through a long and tedious development process. Cricket was developed in the late 16th century in southeast England. It became the country's sport in the 18th century and spread to the rest of the globe in the 19th and 20th centuries. According to an article titled Soccer History Timeline, soccer was also developed in England. It was developed in 1863, actually, in the nation's capital, in London. Football dates back to the 15th century unofficially, but it wasn't officially refereed until the 19th century. England is also home to some of the oldest football clubs in the world. Now that we have discussed a couple of the sports that came out of England, let's discuss why the people of England feel so strongly about these sports. According to an article titled Sports and Pastimes of the People of England, the people of England feel very strongly about their sports and they're very passionate about everything they do, but particularly soccer. Although cricket is technically the country's national sport, it is not nearly as popular among British people as soccer is. Soccer is easily the country's most popular sport. Professional soccer is widely watched and celebrated by the British, and they even take part in developmental and recreational leagues to take part in some of the fun themselves. As you can see, the British people are very dedicated to their sports. They love to not only watch professional teams play, but they love to take part in the sports themselves, just to continue to pass down the rich history that each sport has contained inside their culture. Just a review of my main points, as we discussed first, I introduced a few sports. Next, I talked a bit about their history and where the sports are derived from. Finally, I explained why the British people feel so strongly about the sports they play. Just as we Americans feel strongly about certain parts of our culture, we need to respect the cultures of other countries and realize that they, too, like us, feel as passionate about the sports as we do. Thank you.